We got an amazing look at the making of Hogwarts Legacy at the Autodesk Vision Series this week. This was a professional webinar intended to showcase the technical prowess and choices relevant to bringing Wizarding World characters, places, and feel to life. WB Games Avalanche ran a session focused on how the Hogwarts Legacy game characters, animations, and cinematics were created and refined, including virtual production performance captures and character rigs to real-time cinematics. There were some awesome shots of Avalanche's super cool in-house motion capture studio, where actors were suited up for facial animation, set layouts, and even mocap of their fingers and hands to record precise wand movements. Now, much of this presentation focused on the technical use of software in game development, so if you are interested in any of that, watching and learning from the session, you should check out Autodesk's YouTube channel, youtube.com/Autodesk. They'll be posting a recording of the session in about 1 to 2 weeks. But aside from all the technical tools, did we learn anything new about Hogwarts Legacy from this session? Yes, let's talk more details about character customization, confirmed NPC names, and a full cinematic scene featuring a Hippogriff Rescue. I took lots of notes, so first up, we have loads of features that we can customize for our character. Avalanche's technical art department head, Dwayne Johnson, not The Rock, walked through various aspects of a character editor for building the game, including elements like a beard, perhaps for older characters, outfit accessories such as a hat, shoes, socks, ring, gloves, mask, glasses, and of course a robe. Some standouts I saw from the menu options. So in the robe, we had a ghost, Sir Patrick Delaney Podmore, who's the leader of the Headless Hunt, a group of ghosts who have been beheaded. We also have other characters that are probably not important, but like just kind of in the background. So a carriage driver, portrait armor, a dark wizard captain might be important for some of those battles. We have 2 listings though for Professor Black. So there's a character that we have, another professor, listed twice with some acronym prefixes that I don't know what they mean. We also have something listed as Deathly Hallows, which is probably, maybe, definitely sus. I have no idea what this means. Why is it an option? What does it mean? Who's wearing it? Is it a special drop? Is it exclusive to an NPC? Like, so many questions I do not know. We also have things like beast, herbology, astronomy, something general like arcane jacket 01, and of course robe _01 was the one that he walked through. So there were several customizations in the robe at different parts. So you had like the hood, the sleeve trim, you had different things like arm triple stripes, forearm double stripes, forearm center stripe, inner and outer trims, the robe band, crest, and buttons. Like, it seemed like there were a lot of parts of the robe that could be customizable, depending on what those layouts look like for a particular item drop. The robe textures had variations of woven knit, there was Niffler owl, a default gray, leather, checkered crocodile, dragon bumpy, embossed, and likely many more options. We also saw a glimpse of some mesh presets, which included many variations of the different Hogwarts houses. We had a few called birds, clouds, fishbone, and others that we didn't get to see. But wait, there's more. In what appears to be actual game menus, there were tabs for character presets, and they had these like cute little card designs with little faces that you could choose from for different options. And from the preset, it seemed that you could customize further from there. So you could customize the face shape from 15 different options, skin color with a slider, there were glasses, hair color, also with a slider, several hairstyle options. I'm particularly interested in like the bun or like the fancy girl hairstyles. You can add freckles and moles, scars and markings, eye color, eyebrow color, and shape. And there's another tab that seems to have a Hogwarts crest, but it might be for house-related customizations, but I don't know. We didn't get to see what was on that menu page over there. So overall, I feel very optimistic about how we can customize our character, get into that design, to get our witch or wizard to look exactly how we want it, or at least like with a lot of variation. Plus, the facial animations are set up to apply to any human character in the game. They talked about that when they were talking about the technical stuff. So we should be able to see our character in the cinematics with the facial expression applied. And that kind of makes sense. So we saw all those cinematics and it had that character, that player character. So whatever your player character build is, that will also be featured in those in-game cinematics. In addition to our main character, we got a little bit of information about the NPCs, or some of them that we'll be able to interact with in the game. So as Dwayne Johnson walked through a mesh character already built for cinematics, he selected our Charms Professor, which we now know his name is Abraham Ronen. There's also a little Slytherin patch. We've seen that Slytherin patch before, and it kind of queued up when he pulled up the character. And we have confirmation from our wonderful community manager, Chandler Wood, that Professor Ronen is indeed a Slytherin. Quick note, some of the options on that drop-down menu were a little funny to me. So there was House Elf, Howler, and Fairy, a mannequin, perhaps for shops, I guess. Something labeled Pacifist, which I am very curious about. What does that even mean? How is that in the game? Or does it not mean anything and it was just kind of like a build someone made who was developing stuff? A portrait, prefect, and many professors. So it's not certain that all of these labels are in the game, especially there's something in there called marketing only characters. So it could just be placeholders or different test builds to see what it's about. But it was funny to see all of those titles in the drop down. Now, we saw many characters in the Hogwarts Legacy State of Play, but Avalanche's cinematic director, Nathan Hendrickson, said there was a cast of 50, which made it challenging to coordinate logistics for recording actors in mocap suits and voiceovers, particularly as the pandemic was going on and they were working remotely. So they partnered with Beyond Capture Vancouver to work with a small group of actors who could play multiple parts. So he showed many views of video calls over Zoom and facial animation captures. So one scene was a layout for a cinematic in what appears to be a hallway. There are two characters in the scene, and it's labeled Avatar, which is us, of course, and Weasley. So our character is standing near an open book across from a female Weasley character. There appears to be something that grabs the character's attention above as the camera moves kind of in a rumble fashion. Then the book closes in the air and drops into our hands, revealing a diamond design and a Hogwarts crest on the cover. And this wasn't a finished cinematic, so it didn't have textures and dialogue. It's not really clear what's happening in the scene, but we do appear to be having a conversation with this Weasley character after the events unfold. A famous wizarding character in the game confirmed. Now, the biggest part of the presentation was a new full cinematic scene that is actually an extension of something that we saw in the State of Play. So Avalanche's cinematic art lead and co-director, Ethan Walker, led us through what this scene looked like from script to final picture. And it's a Hippogriff Rescue and Escape. So the cinematic script storyboards are featuring Natsai Onai, who is also known as Natty in all of the stuff that they showed. It just said Natty, and I thought it was so cute. It's a little nickname. So we're going to be calling her Natty from now on. And our character, of course. So Natty and the Avatar approach the castle door. Natty and the Avatar hear a loud commotion behind the door and look at each other. Natty and the Avatar dive behind respective cover on the bridge as Highwing bursts through the door, pursued by 3 poachers. The poachers struggle to restrain Highwing. The poacher captain barks, "Restrain the beast!" The Avatar whispers to Natty, "Highwing!" Natty looks at the Avatar and replies, "Do you know that, Hippogriff?" The Avatar nods in response. As the poachers get Highwing under control, the poacher captain barks, "Get this thing back to the roof now." So across departments, a lot of pieces were put together to create the final product, from blending the animation captures with the avatars, getting the voiceovers edited, and making the captures fit into the environmental world and look natural. So like not clipping through or anything like that. I will say that after seeing the cinematic, I was extremely motivated to save this hippogriff from those poachers because nobody is gonna hurt those little tiny babies. Yes, go check it out when it gets posted on Autodesk on their YouTube channel for sure. There were a couple of minor changes in like towards the end. Like one was we don't actually nod in the affirmative. So when I first saw it, before going back to look at the storyboards, I was like, why aren't we telling her? Like, we're just kind of staring at her when she asks, oh, do you know this hippogriff? And we're just like, come on us. And then she ends up like running through and she slips through the crack and then the door is shut and we're like left there and we're like, oh, well, I guess let's find a way to get up to the roof, and we will get up to that roof. You can bet that for sure. We're gonna get up there. Anyway, those were the major points that stood out to me, and of course there's always like little notes and details if you went frame by frame. So it seems that a lot of the scenes that we were looking at in the presentation were scenes from the state of play, but like in not necessarily a finished product, so it was like in the process. So I just wrote down in my random jottings that there was a scene that looked like we were somewhere with Fig, possibly like when we touched the little, after we touched the little Hogwarts Legacy logo, Ancient Magic thing, and we're in the space with Fig, and then we face off with Ranrok and they attack. And it said on there, I mean, it might not be that scene, but it said that it seemed that the label was Pensive Bookmark, which again, like, wait, memories? Are we going into memories? How does the portal work? What's going on there? There also was a big table of mocap recordings and different labels next to them in the rows, and one said holding and petting a puffskin, which adorable, but I also want to see it. And then the Rookwood and Ranrok scene where we spy on them with Natsai, that label is called Alley 2 3 Broomsticks Natty. And there was another dialogue scene in it, so we kind of see a little bit, this is where they're talking about the child. And there appears to be dialogue on there that Ranrok says, all you need to know is that if you cannot get to the child, then you have no value to me. So what's up with that? But overall, this presentation really highlighted the amount of work that Avalanche has invested to create this wizarding world and its characters with such magic and, of course, attention to detail. Like, there was so much processing and like going back and forth between departments. It was really cool to kind of see like, oh, there's like inner workings of people actually work on this game and make it happen. It's not just this thing that pops up. There's iterations and coordination that goes along with it. So from the many options that we'll have to customize our own character to all of the NPCs or other characters that we'll be able to interact with, I am so excited to finally play Hogwarts Legacy this year. Be sure to check out the Autodesk YouTube channel so you can see all of the magic come alive as well. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below if you went to this session or you saw anything, noticed anything, see people talking about different details. I want to hear all of it, what stood out to you. And until next time, Juan's ready.